How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another advanced SQL tutorial on Informatics. And in today's video, we're going to be learning stored procedures in MySQL. So a stored procedure is basically a saved SQL query that you can reuse whenever you need it. Instead of writing the same query over and over again, you can save it once, give it a name, and call it whatever you want. And this is really useful in healthcare analytics because a lot of the work we do is repetitive, like patient summaries, hospital reports, readmission checks, cost summaries, and things like that. So in this tutorial, I'll show you how stored procedures work in a simple way using our healthcare data. Let's get started. Okay guys, with the first example here, we're going to be creating a very simple stored procedure. And for this one, I just want to show you the basics on how a stored procedure works. So I'm going to first write out my query. Let's do select star from patients, and from here, I'm going to run this, and let's just say that I want to choose age underscore years. So I'm going to add this in here, age underscore years. And now I'm actually going to create a space and leave the line above the query. So this is going to be actually the first part to creating our stored procedure. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to write create procedure in the beginning. And so what this does is that it tells MySQL that we want to save a query as a procedure. And without this step, you won't be able to create a stored procedure. And then once we write that, we're going to give it a name, kind of like an alias. So in this case, I'm going to say show age patients. But we're not done just yet. We have to add open parentheses and the close parentheses. So what the parentheses does is that when you put it after the name, it's important because later on we can put inputs inside of them. But for now, we're just going to leave them empty because this procedure does not need any extra information. And then below the create procedure part is where we write our actual query, and we've already written it down. But we're not done just yet. We actually have to write out call right there, and then we're going to add in the table name, or not the table name, the procedure name right there. So what this does is that now we could just call the procedure by the name every time. But before we do that, we actually have to run this part below the or before the call part and actually tell MySQL that we want to run this. So this is already run already, it's created, but now I'm just going to run this, and it's going to show you all the age years of the patients, just like we said. And this is how you run the stored procedure. We use the call keyword, then we write the name of the procedure. So the big idea here is pretty simple. We create a saved query, and then now we can reuse it whenever we want by simply writing call show age patients. And guys, as you can probably tell, you probably don't want to be saving this simple of a query, but this was just a simple example. This, as you can guess, is going to be very useful when you're writing very long queries. Now that you guys understand the basics of a stored procedure, let's create something that is a little bit more useful. And for this one, we're going to be doing patient risk score. So this is a really good example for healthcare analytics because a lot of analysts often need to identify higher risk patients for things like reporting, outreach, care management, or quality programs. And before we start writing out our query, let's just say that patients with a risk score greater than or equal to 3.5 are considered high risk patients. So let's just write the query out first. And we're going to be doing, let's just do select star from patients, and let's run this because we're going to select a couple of columns that will be useful. So let's just do, of course we want to have patient ID, let's do age years, we'll do race, ethnicity, payer, and let's just do risk score right there. And from here, we're going to do the where clause for the risk score because we want to identify only the patients who have a high risk score, which we said earlier was 3.5 or above. Just like that. That's our query right there. So now what we have to do is in the first line of the query, we actually have to do a create procedure. So MySQL can actually store this as a procedure. We'll just call it higher risk patients, and then we'll do our parentheses right there. And let's just run this right here so we can tell MySQL to save this. There's a little error. Let's zoom out a little bit and run this. All right, now we have this saved. So now to call our saved procedure or stored procedure, we're just going to do a call, and then we're going to copy the stored procedure name that we gave it, and we're going to put that right there. And now we're going to run this. And as you can see, just by running that, we pulled the whole query that we wrote right over here. So this right here saves so much time, and it helps us reuse SQL logic. And now anytime that we want to see those high-risk patients, we don't have to write out the full query. We just call the procedure by simply writing the stored procedure name after running this. Okay guys, moving on to query number 3. Now let's make stored procedures a little bit more flexible. We're going to be adding something inside of our parentheses this time. And let's just we'll do create procedure. And for this one, let's just say we're finding patients by the ID. So find patient by ID. And then the parentheses, inside of the parentheses, I'm going to do patient number, and I'm going to put integer right there. So what this means is that the procedure accepts an input, and the input for this is called patient underscore number, and the data type is int, which means integer. And this is going to be useful because we don't want to create a separate procedure for every single patient, and instead we want to create one procedure and pass in whichever patient ID that we want. So in this query, I'm just going to first get started off by writing out the columns that we need. We'll do patient ID. Let's do age underscore years. We'll do payer, and we'll just do risk score. Again, from patients, and let's do the where clause. We'll do where patient ID equals patient number, and patient number is our input that we selected. So what this is telling MySQL is that we want to look for the patient ID that matches the number we pass into the procedure. So now I'm just going to run that, and let's do call. And we're going to select the alias that we gave this stored procedure, and now this time we're going to find by the ID. And I already know the IDs in my table have 6 digits, and they're very simple. So I'm just going to do this ID. This is an actual ID in our table. And so here we are calling the procedure and passing in this specific ID. So what this means is that if a patient with this ID exists in the table, this will return that patient's information. And let's just run this. And there we have it. And we can change this around if we want. Let's do 1,000, or what is that? 100,002. Let's do that. And there we have it. So anytime we put the input in here, that's going to show the patient with their information just by simply writing out the patient ID, because we specified right here. And I'll tell you guys, this is one of the biggest reasons stored procedures are very useful. They're not just saved queries, they can also accept inputs, which makes them reusable and very flexible. Okay guys, now we're going to be making this query a little bit more challenging by adding a join clause. So for this one, we're going to be combining the patients table with the encounters table. And let's just start off by writing the create procedure part first, and we'll just call it patient encounters, and then we'll put the same exact input as before, patient number, and of course it's going to be integer. So before I start writing out the query, the goal for this one is to find all encounters for one specific patient. So we're going to start off by writing the columns that we want and our full query. So we'll do patient ID, we'll do age, years, we know that we have encounter ID in our encounters table. And hold on, before I mess up any of the columns inside of the encounters table, let's just spot check real quick, just see what columns are inside of that query. Okay, so we have encounter ID. We're gonna be doing, okay, let's just add in low stays as well. Low stays. And then we'll do cost USD in there as well. All right, we can delete that. And let's do from patients, and we're going to give it an alias of P, and then we're going to join the encounters table as E. And now we have to add the alias name in front of the column name. So we know this is from the patients table. So we're going to add the P dot there. We know this is from the encounters table, and encounters table from right there. And then we're going to join on p.patient_id equals to e.patient_id. We're going to be matching the patient ID column with the encounters patient ID column. And we're not done just yet. We're going to do where p.patient_id equals patient number. And then we're going to close it off. So this where clause is going to filter the result to only the patient number that we pass into the procedure. And we're going to be using the same exact ID as before. So let's run this table right here with the create procedure. And now we're going to use call. And let's take that. And then from here, we're going to do the same exact ID, and let's run it. All right, so now this is including the encounter ID data. And what this does is that it's giving us a more detailed view of that patient's encounters, including the encounter type, length of stay, and the cost. And that was the point of adding the join encounters in there. So this is a good example of how stored procedures can save more than just simple queries. They can also save joins that you may need to run again and again and again. So guys, I'm sure that you're seeing how much time this would save us down the line. This would automate the process so much when you're building reports and just need quick information on your tables. Okay guys, let's just keep riding our momentum here and use another join query for our stored procedure. So now we're going to be creating a simple hospital summary, and this procedure, we'll just call it hospital encounter summary, something simple like that. We're going to be combining the hospital table and the encounters table. So let's just start off by writing the query. Let's do hospital name. That's going to be one of the columns inside of our hospital table. We'll do state. That's another column in there. We'll do count encounter ID as, let's call it total encounters. And now we're going to select our table from hospitals as H, and then join encounters as E. So now we have to add the alias right here, H, and we know this is from the encounters table, so we're going to put e.encounter.id, just like that. And from here I have to add my on h.hospital ID equals to e.hospital ID, because we know that hospital ID is also in the encounters table, and that's how these two tables connect. And we'll do where.hospital ID equals, we'll call it hospital number, and this is going to be the input that we eventually give the stored procedure. And then from here, of course, we have to do our group by, because we used an aggregate function, so we're going to use group by. Let's do just take this, copy and paste right there, and we'll close it off. So now we're going to add in our create procedure part, because this is a query that we want to store. We're going to do hospital encounter. Let's just say that, and then we'll do hospital number, which is this input that we selected. Let's just copy and paste it right there, and we will tell MySQL that this is an integer. And just like that, let's run this from right here. And now we have this query stored into MySQL now. Now, as you guys can probably guess, we're going to use the call function, and we'll do hospital encounter right there, and then we'll put in the ID, and I know the IDs for this one are a lot shorter. We'll just type in 1, and let's run this, and now we have information on the hospital ID with 1. And again, this is just giving us a quick summary of that hospital's total encounters. And this is the kind of query that could be useful for a reoccurring hospital report or a dashboard. Alright guys, let's just say that you want to delete a stored procedure. And it's a super simple process. So for this, we're just going to write drop procedure. And we're going to give this the procedure name, whatever procedure name that we want to drop. So let's just say, for example, from the last query, the last stored procedure was hospital encounter. So I'm just going to put a hospital encounter right there. And what this does is that this does not delete the tables that we used in this. This simply deletes the saved procedure. Okay, let's run this. And now we've simply deleted that. So now when we try running this, let's just do that. Nothing's going to show up. Just like that. It results in an error. And this is important to understand because dropping a procedure is not the same as dropping a table. That's far more worse. And that I would highly recommend not dropping a table unless you get permission to do so. And of course, I'm talking about when you're actually at work. But when it's your own table, you could do whatever you want with it. But a procedure is just a saved SQL logic. Think of it like that. So if we drop it, we are only removing the reusable query from that database. Alright guys, before we sign off, let's just quickly recap what we learned. A stored procedure is a saved SQL query that we can reuse. We learned how to create a basic stored procedure, how to call it using the call clause, how to create a stored procedure with an input, how to use a stored procedure with a where clause, how to use one with a join, and how to drop a procedure when we no longer need it. The main thing that I want you to remember is that stored procedures are useful when you find yourself writing the same SQL logic over and over again. In healthcare analytics, that can happen a lot with patient reports, hospital summaries, encounter data, risk scores, readmission reports, and even cost analysis. And guys, stored procedures are like your friend. You tell them what you need and they just handle it. Of course, that would mean stored procedures are more like a best friend, but they do help you a lot by making your SQL cleaner, more reusable, and overall more professional. So if this video helped you out, I really appreciate you for watching. Please hit the subscribe button, it would mean so much to me. I'll be continuing this advanced SQL series with more tutorials using healthcare data, so please make sure to tune in for the next one. Also, subscribe to the Informatics newsletter if you want more guidance on healthcare analytics, health informatics, SQL, data skills, and breaking into the field. Thank you again for watching. My name is Sharif, this is Informatics, and I'll catch you in the next video.